latest edition of the iPhone. The stock has been on a roller coaster ride in just the last couple of days here. But will these problems and the way the company is handling them bruise the company's image long term? We're going to get some thoughts here from Majestic Research CEO Tony Berkman and Happily Securities Senior Technology Analyst Kevin Hunt. Good to see both you guys. Tony, you know, for ages now it seemed like Apple could do no wrong, that pretty much anything they brought to the market consumers ate up and absolutely loved. But this antenna issue is really turning into a real problem for them. How big a deal do you see it as?
Yeah, I don't see it as a huge deal right now. I'm surprised at how they've handled it. They're a media marketing savvy company, and they don't seem to be handling the fallout very well with respect to their communication. But we track points of sale data from thousands of wireless retailers, and the return rate for the four has been at 4%, which is below 6% for the 3GS, which itself is a very, very low return rate for smartphones. So, you know, I think
it's not having a big effect, you think. But, okay, those are customers that already have it. What about just the image problem? Let me throw that at Kevin. Do you think that Apple's going to suffer any kind of a setback in its image? And also, to Tony's point, that it's not handling it in terms of its customer service relations as well as it potentially could?
Well, my perspective, I guess, is a little bit different. You know, I've been covering Apple for almost 10 years as an analyst and a user for much longer, and they've actually had similar type problems in the past. I think the reason most people buy Apple is the functionality and usability of the product, and you know, the Apple loyalist base is willing to overlook these types of problems. If people look back, the original iPhone, which launched a few years ago, had a lot of problems with the screen scratching initially. You had the public relations snafu of cutting the price by $100 less than a month after they launched. Made a lot of the people that wait out in line, fairly irate. And they actually kind of handle it the similar way they seem to be doing now, just ignoring it and almost sort of thumbing their nose at people. But ultimately, they did respond, and they had an easy fix on the scratch problem. They gave people a $100 rebate to go to the stores, and you can see the sales.
And all turned out well. But let me ask you, Kevin. I mean, back then it was a different time. There's a lot more players in this market. There's more competition in this market. Is there potentially an opening for one of the competitors, for one of Apple's rivals, to come here and kill perhaps some of Apple's momentum?
Well, yes, I think there is the quick answer. And to your point, there's some differences from now till then. Now you have millions of new customers that are not in that loyalist space who may not be willing to overlook problems like that. You also have Apple being the big guy in the block today versus the little underdog guy 3 or 4 years ago. And obviously, the media likes to go after the big guys with everything they can find.
I don't know. Blame the media. That seems like an easy out to me. Tony, tell me about your outlook for Apple as we move forward here. What is this? What could a potential recall? I'll play the media role here then and sensationalize it for you if I can. If we actually were to see a recall of the iPhone here, what does that mean for the company and its stock price?
Yeah, well, obviously, it would not be good for the company. It could, cost the company upwards of $1 billion, and I imagine, the stock would take a considerable hit. That said, I do think it's a low probability it would, not serve the customers well. I think, but if that low probability plays out, I think the hit to the stock would be, probably 5 to 10%.
Okay, guys, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Intel's earnings and comments.